This simple guideline that will cost you zero will increase your likelihood of closing a driver for 30% and probably decrease the amount of money you spend on leads in 2025. My name is Samir. I own a Elysium Enterprise company. We are specialized in recruiting and marketing for trucking companies. If your trucking company is more than 30 plus trucks, you probably know that you have recruiting teams set up, leads and everything else. Our goal is to set up the whole picture, see how drivers look at you, see what type of offer and what type of drivers you are attracting to your company, and on top of that, how to close them and how to keep them. So let's dive into the simple and most important factor that will not cost you anything, but it will increase your results by even 100%. So time. We're gonna speak about time and how time is the most important thing in lead generation. The time, it's the most important thing. The cool thing about it, these time frames that I'm gonna show you doesn't cost you a thing. As an owner of a trucking company, this time frame that you can basically explain to your recruiters and to your team doesn't cost you anything, just like the system that you will increase at least likelihood of generating the new drivers by 100% will cost you $0. So let's dive into it. So usually what's happened, most of you that you are looking this content is generating leads from Facebook, Instagram. It doesn't matter what it is, but let's use Facebook and Instagram as the most common thing in trucking industry right now in 2025. So usually what happens, you place an ad from Facebook and then you have some lead form or like Messenger, whatever is the case. After drivers see your ad, they apply on lead form and that goes to your recruiter. After they apply, right now what's happening? Driver apply to your application. Usually he is driving and he is resting. So in that scenario, time is every minute that we have here that we are not calling the driver as soon as he apply. Every moment that this recruiter didn't contact this driver, we have other companies sending the ads to the same driver, and then the same driver is applying on multiple positions. So what it means, if your recruiter don't picks up in, let's say, 1 day, another company calls him in 1 minute, what do you think will happen? So who's gonna win? The win is the company who called the driver as soon as they apply. In 1 day, where you don't have time to process, your 200, 300 companies can apply. So, and then your recruiter is saying, it's a bad leads, nobody's picking up, etc., etc. Why? Because this type of situation is happening every day. Just go to your recruiter, open their leads source, and then see how long does it take for them usually to reply. If it's more than 5 minutes, everything more than 5 minutes is bad. So 5 minutes needs to be the holy grail for every repetitive client acquisition. But I'm gonna explain in this video as well, how can you prevent this, basically just like to start the interaction by using simple automation that will keep at least the first initiative of the recruiting here. So we have a 5 minutes application. On top of that, what's also really big problem is that you have recruiter that works from Monday to Friday. So Monday, Friday. And then you have weekend, 2 days off. So weekend. The whole point is that nobody is working here. Usually 99% of the company don't have anybody that's working on a weekend, but everybody in trucking industry as well knows that in this period of time is the most amount of leads are coming. The most amount of leads are coming on a weekend. So 99% of the leads are coming on a weekend. So what usually happens is this. Recruiter gather most of the leads on a weekend, and how that process to the next week is basically recruiter have more leads that he needs, that he can basically nurture, quality nurture, not only call them, they didn't pick up, I hang up, call them, they didn't pick up and stuff like that. So he have more leads that he can nurture, so he is losing majority of the leads. On top of that, here we have decrease of quality because leads from Friday till Monday, we have more than 48 hours or like 50, 60 hours till the guy apply. He totally forgot the name of your company. So decreasing of the values of the lead, that we have more than we can fulfill. And on top of that, so if you have more leads that they are less quality, your recruiter will burn out in that process. So he'll try to catch up with all of these leads. After that, he will get to the point where he can follow up with other one, and then probably decrease some of the number of leads because he's already tired. The Friday is coming, he will decrease in his progress, and that's it. This is the usual combination of lead generation. So the driver and recruiters are really hyped up. On a weekend, they are like Monday, Tuesday, they're like, there's a lot of drivers. Thursday, Friday come, they're decreasing value and excitement and everything else. So their performance drops drastically. And then basically you have a recruiter that's working only 2 days with his maximum capacity. And this type of workflow usually cannot fulfill the other things in the company, because by using this method, recruiters are only working 2 days profitably. They don't have basically time to follow up with the leads 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So you're losing a lot of money. You're burning cash in first 3 days of the week, and in the last 2 days or 3 days of the week, if we get Wednesday as a breaking point, here they don't have enough quality leads to keep up with their work. And in the meanwhile, these leads, if you want to follow them up, they're already old. So this is what's happening in the most amount of trucking company. So let's say from 100 leads that you have per week, most of the trucking companies are not proceeding more than 30% of them quality. I am not talking about following up and everything else, because 99% of the company don't do that at all. But right now, I'm not here to torture you and explain you all the things that you need to know. I'm here just like to explain you how can you fix this with simple automation. First thing that you need to do regarding the time is to set up some bot. You can use ActiveCampaign, you can use any type of bot. I think Instagram and Facebook also have their own bots to auto-reply the most common questions. So if somebody is applying to your lead, you need to ask them simple questions. For example, hey, I'm John from this and this company, and can you please send me your phone number so I can call you back as soon as I can in that situation. So call back is kind of granted. You start from the moment they apply, you have some type of interaction, so you increase your likelihood of basically getting back to that lead, back and forward. On top of that, what's the best way to do it, and what am I suggesting to all my clients to do it, is to hire basically a recruiter who will work on weekend. But I will not hire somebody who work only for weekend. I will set up somebody inside the crew to change, and so everybody also have work weekends. In that case, you can hire one person. It's not cost you $1 million, but one person can process all the leads. So only the best cash back for your time is to use recruiters that you already have in your company and just switch their calendar by a little bit, or hire a completely new person that will work. Give people who already work bonuses for working on a weekend or whatever is the structure of that. But on the weekend, as I explained you here, is the most amount of leads are coming, and the most important thing, nobody is calling them. Everybody's waiting Monday, so that the driver, when they're in truck, they have a million calls. On Saturday and Sunday, nobody is calling them. So the cash making machine is basically to weekend. Have somebody call the drivers on a weekend. First of all, the 90% of the drivers are applying on a weekend. So if you call them right away, that will be the best way scenario. It doesn't cost you a thing. You can maybe give some bonuses to the driver, but just hypothetically, if 40% of the leads are coming on a weekend, the percentage of callback, the percentage of answering, the percentage of time to speak, the percentage of everything increased by double or triple. So time when you're calling the lead is the most important thing. So now you have Blue Ocean strategy, where you basically have all the drivers here that you can call and they will reply on a weekends. And then on Monday, when everybody starts calling them and basically try to get their attention, you already collected 5, 10, 15 drivers that you need, and proceed. It will not cost you a thing to maybe give your recruiter $100 or $200 for them to work on a weekend. They can work from home or they can work from the office, depends of whatever is your setup. But nurturing these type of weekend leads give you 100% better chance of closing the drivers, and these 2 days will increase the likelihood of you closing at least 8 to 10 drivers more in your company without the stress. And the most important thing, it will not put the stress on your Monday, so your recruiter will have steady flow of incoming leads. And on top of that, you will have 8 to 10 more drivers a month into your company, and I assume every company will like that. So if you like this type of video, if you want me to describe and write down basically the simplest mathematics about generating drivers and leads and everything else in this trucking industry, comment below and please subscribe. See ya.